Hey friends and artists, welcome to another episode of Get Arty with Nate. Today we're going to be building something. We're not going to be getting arty in the sense of painting or sculpting or whatever. We're going to get arty in the sense of building something to help with our art. So what I'm going to build is a Mahl stick holder system, support system. Mahl stick support system. And the way I'm going to be doing that is with these broomsticks here that I got for 90.95 euros each. And they're now this is something that I made up. This isn't something that I saw on the internet somewhere or anything. This is just a system I'm making up. And as you guys know, I'm not a professional artist. I'm actually a carpenter, do a lot of construction, so I'm gonna go ahead and just build my thing with the tools I have. And you guys can see what I do for my Mahl stick holder. I'm gonna have a lot of straight lines on this painting here. Getting ready to start, all the rigging for this ship and everything. And all this stuff is wet, or parts of it are wet, and I don't want to risk using the stick with the little pad on the end, and I just don't really want to risk damaging up this edge here either or anything. I mean, I don't know, it just seems like there's a better way than the pad on the stick thing for me. So what we're going to do is we're going to use these. And we're just going to make a little support system that's hooked to these. That's going to stick out a little bit. And it's going to allow us to place our stick over top of the whole thing in most directions. Now I'll probably have to use them for sideways, maybe. I'll have to use a traditional one for sideways stuff. But yeah, so we'll see how this goes. We'll do the Mahl stick support system and see how it works out. So here we go. But first, we need to get on our carpentry hats today, folks. Just a basic cap. I am from Michigan, United States. So I represent with the Mackinac hat, but the most important thing about the carpentry hat is that it holds your pencil. See what I'm saying? That's how you do it. Ready to go. Okay. So you guys ready? Let's get arty. Get out your tools this time. We're getting arty, building construction. Here we go. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is measure our painting so we know how long to make our sticks. Since I'm just doing it for this painting here, I'm gonna make it just a little bit shorter. So we have 90 centimeters. So we'll go ahead and make our little support system 90 centimeters wide. And then I'm going to stand it off with these screws that I got. It's going to get stood off just a little bit more than this. Come from the back of my clamp that holds the painting. But I measured the painting, and so now we're going to get it off and into safety. Into the house, and when we drop a tool or something, we don't mess up our painting. All right, art fam, I'm here with my tools. Oh, I'm a DeWalt guy, for sure. I've been using them for about 25 years, I know of, for sure. And I'm definitely not paid for by DeWalt to make this video, but one of the reps did give me a couple free batteries when I saw them at a hotel once, so that was pretty rad. Anyway, you're not gonna need all these. I was just showing you guys, the kind of other stuff that I do. I do a lot of construction work. So that's what we're gonna do here. Now this little thin piece of wood right here, we're going to drill through. this screw. It's going to hold our standoffs, so we're going to drill a hole into it. Now this is something, if this is what you're going to be doing to your easel, the grain on this wood is not very dense, you know, so this thing could split pretty easy. So, and it's a pretty important piece to your painting process. So I'm definitely going to make it to where this thing has more than enough room to pass through. I'm not going to try and have the threads bite at all. I just wanted to slide in and out of there, even have room to move. And you may want to start with a small hole and then go bigger, and that'll keep it from splitting too. There's a couple things, and if it does split, you can just screw it back together with glue and stuff. You know, it's just something to bear in mind if this is your thing. You know, we got the same thing down here. Notice kind of a little cheap kind of piece of wood. You know, but cheap easel. So I'm not complaining. I'm just letting y'all know that's going to be your process for this. So I got my screw gun and we'll get it going. Alright, so first we're going to mark our holes. So we got room to work back here. Alright friends, tool situation has been averted. The disaster of the tool situation. So, back to our project. I have our holes drilled. I'm going to use this piece of wood. I need to get this measurement here. I'm going to come about halfway into this. So this is 2 centimeters. So we'll come in 1 centimeter. And then this is what it looks like coming through. We have 5.5 centimeters sticking through. We want to go in 1 centimeter, so we'll do 4.5 centimeters. So we're going to cut 2 4.5 centimeter pieces. Okay, so we need 90 centimeters on this stick. We have 103, call it 103. Without the threads. And so it is Sunday here, so we're going to use a little quiet saw. I got a little split here, it looks like. Maybe not. Okay, so doesn't have to be perfect. So those should be my 2 standoffs I need. Always take off your price tag. We also want holes in these for the screw to go through. So we're going to do that before we cut them off, because it'll be a lot easier. It off. No worries though. Protective sled. maybe 4.5. Which gives us enough room to do another one. We do need 4. Off. Oh, you're going to drill a hole first? There we go. 4 standoffs, ready to go. I'm going to cut this one to 90. Ish, 90-ish. Ooh, I get to cut off the price tag. Yay! Okay, I was ready. Now, okay. So now that we have our pieces cut out, we're going to measure our holes and then mark that center on our sticks, and we should be able to assemble. Pre-drill some holes. 13 on center. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna drill a pilot hole in our dowel for the top of our maul stick, and you want your drill bit that you're drilling to be as big as the shaft of the screw, but not the threads. So, and we're only going to go halfway through. And this might be perfect for this project. Oh, wow. Alright friends, we're in the home stretch here. I'm going to put it together with this hand screwdriver because I'm only going like 1 centimeter and it's wood. So that's going to make sure that hopefully it won't break anything. So I'll put my little spacers. You can see my hole's kind of off center, so I'm going to put the fat end up to give me more room for my painting to fit on. Okay, and let's see if it works. Started. This one started on my little pilot holes. Alright, look at that, it worked. Beautiful. Here at the bottom doing the same thing, guys. This appears to be yellow pine, which is pretty strong. as far as pines go. Okay, let's see what our measurement is here. 13. Whoops. 13, our stick is 90. So 45 is our center. And 13 is our holes. So we go 6.5 to the direction. Shadoink. Shadoink. Spoil your hat. This one, we've got a little pilot hole. Again, don't put your hand behind your drill bit in case it goes all the way through. I'm going to tighten it. Fat side down over here. More room for the painting and stuff. Okay, look at that. We did it. Looks good, doesn't it? Huh? Had to use a couple tools. But hey, this is how we got RD today. And it looks like it's going to work really well for me to put in all these lines with my rigging. I also wanted to do it like this because I'm thinking that I may have to flip it on somehow. You know? Then I can work. Not have to sit here and hold a stick with the pad, and you know, I can get it just like how I want it. So yeah, you guys will be able to see it in action. I guess about halfway through the video of me painting this. So, cause I'm about halfway done, and then I got the ship left, and then yeah, we'll check it out and see how good it works. Thanks for joining me, guys, and get out your tools and go get RD. And we'll see you next time on Get RD with Nate. Now go get RD.